Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Martin Cliffe here with a follow-up to my Martin reviews of the Suhr Shiba Drive pedal. Looking at a couple of extra things that I didn't cover in that video. Now, I have two Shiba Drive pedals as I mentioned in the video. What I didn't say there is that one of them is the limited edition, which is this black one. And one of the questions I have been asked is there any difference between the two? So I thought I would investigate it in this video. As you can see, I've got both pedals set to 12 o'clock. They're running one into another, and I've just got this little evidence audio monorail with the SIS plugs connected in between them. So it's my clean tone. If I go to middle pickup to give it a bit more brightness, this is the standard blue one. The black one. Now, if you can hear any difference, any noticeable difference, you've got better ears than me. What I would say is that the blue one is a newer issue pedal, so it may well be that there are slight tweaks to components, or obviously every electrical component has a tolerance. So anything, there may be a very minor difference between the components in the pedal, but basically it's the same thing. I got the black one because it was second-hand in a store I was in, and so it was cheaper than the blue one. No other reason than that. It doesn't mean that there's not a difference between the Shiba Drive and the Shiba Drive Reloaded. That has more gain, it's a bit more open, not quite as dark, which doesn't appeal as much to me. I've tried them both out, and I like the slight hint of darkness that you get with the Shiba Drive, the original model. But in terms of different pedals, they're the same thing. Now, something else that is always of interest and a lot of guitarists talk about, and maybe it's not something you've come across, or maybe it's just not something you've thought of, is this thing called stacking overdrives, or stacking pedals. And what that simply means is you plug two in and you turn them both on. So the first pedal is driving the second pedal. So I thought I'd look at what impact that has. So that's just this one, just the black Shiba Drive. So I'm not getting any more level out of it, I'm just getting more drive, more grit. And if I add in the blue one, then it's kind of like cranking up the drive to a higher level on one pedal, but any sort of, I'd say, unflatness, any bumps in the frequency response of one pedal, if they're the same pedal, they'll be magnified. If you have different pedals that you're stacking, then the two will interact and will affect the overall frequency response of the guitar into the amp. But one thing that is kind of cool to do, and one thing that certainly I do quite a lot, is I'll run them at two different gain levels. So that to me is a little bit more gainy than I would want. So let's see what happens if I run the first one with a higher gain and the second one with a lower gain. the higher gain pedal is giving me a bit more clipping, so it's kind of smoothing off the tone a bit, and then running the low gain pedal afterwards is making it sound a bit more open. And of course what this is giving me now is 3 different tones, because I've got the tone of just the low gain pedal, then just the high gain pedal, and for more gain I've got both together. So it give me a bit more sync. Now, let's just investigate, out of curiosity, if I swap them around. So I set that, the first one to the low gain, and the second one to higher gain. Now this way round, I'm getting more clarity from going through the first pedal, and then that's clipping the second pedal harder. So it seems to me that whatever the second pedal of the 2 in the chain will have more of a sonic imprint in terms of the actual overall tone of the pedal, but that the first pedal affects the responsiveness. So if I turn down the volume and have the low gain pedal first, I get a slightly sort of warm, fuzzy tone. Whereas if I switch that around, I'm getting much more of a sort of transparent, open tone that way around with the volume set about halfway up on the guitar. And that's the way I prefer to run them. Obviously you can then tweak the tone controls and the level controls to do what you want. But I want, even when I'm stacking 2 overdrive pedals, them to be responsive to picking dynamics and stuff, which is why if my guitar goes into the higher gain pedal first and I roll back the volume, then that's going to pull back the gain on the pedal, and then it'll go into the other one that's providing a bit more sustain, but it's keeping it nice and clear. Whereas if I wanted more of that kind of smooth, fuzz-like kind of singing tone, I could run them the other way around. So let's just briefly now look at how I actually tend to run these pedals. So I'm generally running, say, the drive lower on the second pedal, and I give it the tone, raise the tone a bit to give it a bit more brightness. I don't touch the smooth switch, I like it where it is, it suits this guitar and this amp. On the first pedal I've got the drive higher, the tone lower to give me a slightly more singing tone. So let's hear them individually. On the neck pickup then, this is just clean. Just the low gain. Just the higher gain. stack them together. So there we have it, stacked Shiba drives going into a clean amp, and the way that they interact between them, and also is there any difference between the standard model and the limited edition other than the paint job? No. I should say that what I tend to actually do then is run these into a compressor pedal, but that's a topic for a whole different video after I've reviewed the compressor pedal in question. And what that does, any volume discrepancies it smooths out, gives me a bit more sustain. Okay, until next time guys, I've been Cliffe. I'll see you soon.